Cool, right, good afternoon everyone, welcome back. As you can see, we're back out again. Me and Owen have come back down to Black Gang tonight. We did actually come down here last week. You won't have seen it because we had an absolute shocker of a night. I mean, we fished all night. We actually had 10 fresh mackerel as well. Like, we had beautiful, beautiful fresh bait, and I almost blanked. I think I had a strap on the last cast about 12:30, and Owen had one strap and a decent sized pout, to be fair, but very, very poor session, like really poor. So, but yeah, we've come back down here tonight. We want some redemption. It was a lovely evening. We had the best fresh bait ever. The only thing was it was completely flat calm, and I mean like glass, not a ripple anywhere. And there wasn't that much tide. It was quite a low tide. So tonight we've got a little bit of chop. It has been chopped up throughout the day here. It's gone off a little bit now. We've got a southeasterly wind, which means it's coming sort of quartering towards us, following the cross us a bit. It's sort of following the face of this cliff. It's supposed to be going more easterly and then northeasterly by about 10 o'clock. So in a couple of hours, there won't be any wind here. There is actually a fair bit of wind here right now, but it doesn't matter. It's not going to be too much of a problem. But yeah, we've come back down Black Gang tonight. Targets are, want to catch a ray. We are going to try for a taupe like we did the last couple of times. It's a stab in the dark completely. You've got to be in the right place at the right time, but we are going to try for a taupe. That's why I've got the Century rod with me. That's going to have the taupe rig on. And on the other rod, I'm probably going to start off with a 3-hook flapper, try find a ray, and then I've got a couple of popped up hooks on there to try find a fresh bit of pout. We don't have any fresh bait this time, but I have got the mackerel that I caught in that last boat video. And I've got a massive cuttle as well, like a 2.5 pound cuttle that's been in my freezer for ages, and I've been waiting for the right time to bring it out, and down here it's just like, it's perfect place to use cuttle, so I thought I'd bring that out as well. Yeah, other than that, I do just want to say a massive thank you to everyone who followed, liked, subbed and viewed the last video. It went absolutely mental. I mean, my most viewed video up until the last one I think was about 2,500, 2.7 maybe. And then this last video out of nowhere, I don't know if it was the thumbnail or the fact that we're fishing at the Needles and a lot of people know that mark and they wanted to view it because of that. But bloody hell, man, I think it's on about 17,000 views and I've had over 400 subs just from one video. So one video has changed my channel from about 500 subs to almost 1,000, which is just ridiculous. My goal this year was 500 subs by the end of the year, and I was happy to have got that. Now I'm looking like it's going to be a good portion over 1,000 by the end of the year, which is just absolutely mental. So thank you to everyone that liked, subbed, supported, commented, did everything within their power to boost it in the algorithm. So yeah, thank you very much. It's amazing, really. I couldn't believe it. Where every time when I went on it, and it was just going up and up and up. Felt a bit stupid. Normally what happens on YouTube is the video goes up for the first 24, 36 hours, and then after that it just sort of plateaus off and just gets a couple of views. But every day when I went on there, I looked on there, up 1,000, up 1,000. It was just stupid. So yeah, thank you very much for everybody who supported the video and found the channel and subscribed. So yeah, a big thank you for that. Right, so the rigs I've got is, I've got a 3-hook flapper here. The top 2 hooks here are size 2 bait holder hooks. I think these are Mustad bait holder hooks, size 2s. All that means is they've just got a couple of barbs up the shank of the hook just to stop bait sliding down. I quite like using these just because why not? Why wouldn't you want any help keeping your bait on the hook? Might just help you when you're getting rattled by bream or pout or something small where they're not just going to pick your pocket basically. So I quite like them. They help them stay on a bit longer. It might give you an extra bite out of a fish in terms of taking them a little bit longer to get it off. So the top 2 hook are those, and I've got 2 leader icon pop-ups on the top there. All that's going to do is that's just going to suspend that up in the water a little bit, hopefully keep it away from some crabs, because the last few times we've been down here there's been quite a lot of crabs. So the top 2 hooks have just got cuttle on, and on the bottom here I've just got Varivas J hooks. These are 1/0s. I've just got these on a little panel on the bottom here, so all I'm going to do is just, what I do in a lot of videos to be fair, I'm just going to put a thinner strip of cuttle on the bottom. Bloody hell, that hook's almost flipping decapitating me. I'll show you this rig in a second, a bit closer up, like that. Jesus, man. So yeah, the whole idea behind this rig is 2 hooks above, fishing for pout, because I haven't got any fresh bait this time, so fresh pout will definitely go down a treat. And then the bottom one is bloody hell, this wind's picking up, is just a thinner strip of cuttle on a 10J hook pennel. That's going to be on the bottom fishing for a bass or a ray, or maybe even a small little turbot, because you do get turbot that knock around this area of the island. So I'm basically fishing for a ray and bait on the top hooks as well. So instead of having to sacrifice and say I'll just put a 2-hook flapper out there for a pout, I've got a ray bait and a couple of pout baits out at the same time. So just maximise my chances of picking up a bit of bait or a better fish at the same time. And then on the other rig I've got a tote rig, but I'll cast this one out first and then I'll talk through the tote rig. Right, well, there's a massive bow of my line there. That wind's just coming straight across at an horrible angle, so hopefully that'll switch around direction in a minute and put an end to that. But yeah, on this other rig here, this isn't a rig. Well, I've made the rig, but I've not made the wire tippet. So on the wire tippet here, you've got an 8.0 BMX Varivas hook and as the main hook, and then you've got a 4.0 crab hook pennel. These 4.0 crab hooks are not something that I've used until now. Didn't even know that it was a thing. And I thought a crab hook was a normal J hook but extra wide. That's what I've always known it as, but there's obviously a different sort of variant of them, I guess. But that's just going to go on half a mackerel there. All the guts have stayed in the head there, so that's going to be a nice bit of scent. Just going to nick it up through the hard part of the skull, bring the main hook down. As I said, I've not made this wire tippet. This is an 18-inch tippet. I bought it offline. I think I might have bought it off Veals, but yeah, I bought it off Veals. I've not made wire traces much before, so I thought best not mess it up. It's a different style of crimping the rigs, and you've got to use wire crimps and a different sort of knots and stuff like that you have to do with wire, and I'm completely alien to me, to be honest with you, so I thought I'll save it to someone that knows what they're doing, which is, to be honest with you, completely against my morals. I hate using other people's rigs. Nothing I'd hate more than losing a good fish to a knot failure or a rig breaking, and it's not one that I've made myself. I'd never like forgive myself about it really, but it is what it is. It's a much safer bet for me really. All I've done is I've just nicked that J up through the top, whipped it all the way down, and then this pennel, I'm just going to wrap once. Am I going to wrap once? Yeah, I'll wrap once like that, and then it will come back through here, and I'll just nick that pennel up through the back end of the bait like that, so that'll stay there anyway. So even if that bit of meat gets eaten out the back by a crab, that hook's going to stay hovering just behind it, so even if it does come out, I've still got a good chance of it staying. Still got a good chance of it hooking up rather. And then that's just going to take the main hook down to an imp, pull that tight, and that's the clip down rig like that. Nice mackerel, well, half a mackerel really. And I just kept the tail sections back down there for a ray bait later. But that's what I'm going to send out, 6.0 lead, imp, 100-pound main line, and then I've got an 18-inch 49 strain, I think it's 150-pound coated wire. I think it's a Sakuma 49 strain wire, I believe. But yeah, that's the tote rig. As I said, I'm no expert or anything. I've never caught tote from the shore. I've caught a ton of tote from the boat. Nothing massive, biggest like 20, 25 pound, but I've caught a lot of them. But yeah, in terms of tope shore angling, extremely novice, not even entry level. But yeah, I mean, it can't go wrong really, can you? That's good for a half decent conger, and I've seen quite a few half decent congers caught it before. I'm sure a bass would probably hit that. I'm not sure if the wire might put it off a little bit, but I'm sure a bass would probably hit that. It's a new moon tonight. There shouldn't be too much moon at all. There's a lot of tide flow, so a lot of people would say that that's perfect conditions for fishing. But I mean, as we know, that doesn't always matter, does it? So we'll see how we go. Either way, tote rig's baited up, we'll pump it out, we'll get a few more baits prepped, and then we'll settle in for the night, and hopefully we can have a better night than last time. Right, so the rods are out. Tote bait on the right hand rod, 3/8 flapper on the left hand rod. When I've just cast that half a mackerel head out, it's hit the water and there's a massive great slit come off it, which is encouraging to see. And yeah, I forgot to say as well, I've only had this Century rod for probably 5 or 6 weeks now. I think I've used it 4 or 5 times. And I'm extremely careful with the way that I treat my stuff. Like, I've never ever broken a rod eye until this year. I broke one on my Penn Tidal at the beginning of the year and I thought it was an anomaly. And now I've smashed a ceramic ring on that Century. And I've never ever done that before until this year, and I smashed 2 in the year. And I have no idea how I've done it. It only stays in its case. It gets taken out on a fish, and I've never dropped it or anything like that. bit of a, but luckily I noticed it earlier before I come. I did put my bass rod in the background there, just in case when I got here it wasn't usable, but I've taped it up for the minute. I'm gonna have to get some inserts and do it up myself, but proper bummer. Like, I've really looked after it, kept it nice. Always put it away nicely, kept it in its case, and I've cracked the bloody insert in it, but I have no idea why high-end rods like that I've got ceramic inserts in. If anybody knows, please enlighten me in the comments. I don't know if maybe it's better for braid or something like that, I have no idea, but it doesn't make any sense when people make nice smooth metal ones, why you'd want to have a ceramic one, but yeah, I'm sure there's a good reason for it, but I don't know it. Oh, that sun's just starting to go down now, and it's making for a hell of a beautiful view down there. Absolutely stunning. But yeah, just refresh these baits up, just throw them out again. That sun's just going down, so hopefully fish should start to turn on. O's had a bite already, he got stripped a little bit on his dongle, but a little bit of activity. I've had a little bit of crab activity on that tote bait when I reeled it in, but other than that, nothing really to report at the minute. But that sun's just slipping away behind those clouds, so as this light starts to fade, hopefully we can find a pout, and then hopefully we can turn that pout into something a bit better than a pout. But yeah, I've got high hopes. Even though we had a terrible night here last week, I've got high hopes. There can't be two bad ones like that back to back, can there? And the fishing reports at the minute are shocking. So if there's anywhere where we've got a chance of finding half decent fish, I've got decent faith that it'll be this stretch of the island here. So all the eggs are in one basket, I'm afraid. Hopefully it pays off. The boy's in. Any good? Not bad. I heard that shingle moving behind me and I thought you were just bloody messing around, but...
Tighten the drag on it. See that?
Yes, nodding away. Oh heck.
Yeah, this happened last time though, there's a tiny strap.
No, that's not a small strap, is
That's
it?
a ray.
Oh, lovely, man. I've not even got my head torch on yet. Great start, bro. Well done. Well done. It's about the same size as last time. That feels pretty heavy, that does. It's got some thick wings on that. Well done, bro. It's got a weird little spot right on the top of it. Never normally see a spot like that on the painter, do you? Look,
yeah.
Look at that. That's weird.
It looks like silver.
Yeah, look at that. It almost looks like a bullet hole. Right, we'll put him down, get him unhooked nicely, and then we'll get a weight on him. I reckon he's a little bit heavier than you think. He's 5-6 pound all day. Beautiful little ray. Well done, bro. That's a good start.
Right there.
Let's hope it carries on like that. Look at it, you're holding it like a man as well done, mate. Wow, staying open as well, there you are. You get a nice shot of that one there, holding open like that. Beauty, mate, well done. Get a little bit of a close-up. Lovely fish that is. Well done, bro. Should we get a weight on it?
Yeah, go on.
I reckon that's a bit. I reckon that's a bit heavier than that.
We got last time.
£7.
7.
We'll get it again, but it says £9 there, but it's £2 sling, so we'll just zero that again. £7 paint is a lovely fish, man. Nothing to turn your nose up there, bro.
That was giving me some nods, that was.
Yeah, £7. £7, 2 ounces. Yeah. Well done. Beautiful fish, mate. Fair play. Very good start. Remember that little mark on the top of its edge? You never know. If we catch it again, remember that.
That's a good way to know.
Yeah.
That is weird, that, isn't it?
Yeah, send him back. Well, send her back, sorry. Lovely fish. Do you know what? I don't even know what my PB painted is. It's probably only about £7.5.
Is it? Yeah.
I've not really had any big ones. I've had big undulates, but I've never really had big painteds.
I've actually only ever really had bigger ones.
Really?
Yeah.
There you are, lovely fish, mate. Well done.
Happy days, mate.
I suppose I better get this bag and bar out then now that there's a lovely little ray turned up. Great start, I'm well happy with that. Already better than last time. Right, so as you can see by that rod on the right, it is fairly soft rod, but it's still 2 to 6 ounces. It's quite a lot of tide. I've cast it out over there and it's moving right to left horizontally, so. The only problem with that down here is even though we're fishing on relatively clean ground, there is still a few big boulders and that out there. So you cast out there and you're doing a right to left sweep like that, there's a good chance that your line's going to find a boulder or a bit of structure somewhere or another. So in an ideal world you don't really want that, but last couple of times we've been here it's been alright, but the seabed's changing here all the time, so you never really know what you're going to get. Oh right, so
They don't like opening up, do they?
oh, we just found another one. Oh yeah, grumpy little spotted.
Yeah.
Try and hold it up, but quite a nice one. He's a couple, 2.5, 3 pound, isn't he?
Yeah.
Not too small for a spotted. They get a lot smaller than that. I love spotteds, man. They're such cool
Beautiful,
fish.
aren't they?
I haven't caught one in ages. I keep saying it in all the videos. When am I going to catch a spotted? And you've caught about 4 or 5 in the last 6 months.
I'll show you,
and I've not had one.
I'll show you. Nah,
Beautiful little
my
fish.
favourite ray, to be honest.
Yeah, they're stunners, aren't they?
Yeah. Cool.
They're more ungies. Beautiful little ray.
Yeah.
Well done, mate.
Happy days.
I'm jealous. Very jealous. Right, it's time to switch it up, I think. To be honest with you, I was sat there on my box a minute ago, I was just eating some chocolate fingers. And I was sat there thinking I might take this tote rig off and switch it up and drop one in close and belt one out far. And as I was thinking that, Owen's hooked up, and both of the rays he's had have not been out very far. He said he'd just been cast on the other side of the trough, so I think it's time to switch it up a little bit. Change some rigs up, I might put a little earth bar on and just flick it out a little bit. But yeah, nice to see a few fish, very encouraging, and it's only 10:30, so we've still got a few hours left. And theoretically, the best stage of the time, the last of the flood and over the top of the tide, is still to come, so hopefully we can get into a few more. More importantly, me, because I'm a bit jealous he's had another spotted. Right, so I'm going for a little bit of a tactic change here. I have been fishing a tote rig on one rod and then a bagnall bar on the other rod, but now I'm putting on a rig that I've never used before. Now this is called a berth. I mean, it's a bit of a piss take name really. It's basically a beefed up earth rig, which is why it's called a berth. It's made by Fishy Tom again. I love the earth rigs. The earth bars are so much fun to use. They're literally a piece of piss to tie up. Weight, tie on, hook length, done. But this is just a stronger version, so it's got stronger swivels top and bottom. This bar here is a lot more stronger than the earth bar body as well. So then I've got some 60-pound fluoro, and then I've just got a strip of cuttle and a small piece of mackerel as well down the side of it there. So I'm just going to toss this the other side of the gutter, drop this in close where Owen's had those other rays, and then on the other rod I'm going to switch that over to a bagnall bar now and take off the tote rig. So I'll fish big rod at distance and this tippier, softer rod a little bit closer in, just to see if we can't find something in closer. But yeah, I've never used this rig before. It fishes exactly the same to an earth, I would assume, but it'd be nice to get a fish in it the first time using it. But yeah, good night so far.
Yeah. Not sure what it is. There's a bit of weight there. Felt like a ray at the beginning, but yeah, I think it might be a ray. Rodding away. That's actually on you alright now. You're not too far away now. What is it? Oh, lovely spotted. Yeah, that's what I wanted. Lovely, I've not had a spotted in so long. Oh, right, well I've just sat there. There you go, chill out bud. But yeah, I just sat there. I just saw a tiny little knot And as I stood up, it was just slackened off slightly, so I reeled down to it, felt a couple of nods, and got myself a beautiful little spotted. And I said earlier, I really want a spotted. I've not had a spotted for probably a couple of years. They just seem to dodge me. But yeah, really, really happy with that. I'm made up with that, to be fair. But he's not the happiest, so I'll get him back pretty sharpish. But yeah, beautiful little spotted, lovely little female. Couple of pounds, but I'm very happy with that. Yeah, I'm chuffed to bits. I've been sitting there for ages thinking I'm not going to get anything tonight. But we've managed to get one, so yeah, magic. Right, so earlier you probably weren't seeing it, so I showed you, but just before I fought that ray, I went up to this and it was tightened right and roll, so I thought it looked a little bit slack. I drilled it in 10 minutes later, and that's why. Little bootlace on there, proper squeaker as well, not as small as the one I had here last week, bear in mind, but that one was literally a sand eel. It was about 4 or 5 inches long. Yeah, to be honest with you, I'm surprised it's taken us this long to get one, because out this bit of the island, especially in the town like this, we do normally get quite a few traps. But I almost said it when I held that ray up a minute ago, we've not been pestered by eels or anything, so the only bites we've had have been ray. But I've sort of jinxed it in my own head, haven't I? But you can't moan too much. We've caught good fish, you've got to get a strap, haven't you? It goes hand in hand, unfortunately.
Right, so it's probably been about an hour now since we had those fish. I've just replenished those baits on there. I've just put the exact same out. I've been using the same all night, just fin strips of cuttle with fin strips of mac, all just whipped down the side of each other. Nice fin presentation. It's basically what I've been using all night. That's why I've only showed you a couple of bait ups, because you don't need to see it every time, do you? But yeah, the time is now basically 1 o'clock coming up to. It's been a really weird night. We've basically gone for quality over quantity tonight. We've had 4 fish. One of them was a crappy strap, and 3 of them are lovely rays. So honestly, I'm very happy with that. Even though I've sat here for long periods of time and I didn't think I was going to get a fish, I'm really have made up to have got that spotted. I've not had one of them for a while, so it was nice to see that. Owen's had a couple of nice fish. That painted was a lovely one as well. £7 painted is like, that's a respectable size. So yeah, overall been a really good night. So yeah, if you have made it this far in the video, thank you very much for sticking around and watching it. I know it's not been the most action-packed, but you can only catch what's in front of you, can't you? So. And yeah, and also I can't believe I'm saying it, but if you wouldn't mind subbing, I'm almost at 1,000 subs, so it seems a bit mental to even say that, considering I was at 500 subs like 10 days ago, or no, a week ago actually. So yeah, if you wouldn't mind subbing, I'm almost at 1,000 subs, which is just absolutely nuts to say, but yeah, it would mean a lot if you could, so thank you. But like I said, I've got a lot of stuff to pack up around here, a lot of bait to put away over there that we haven't used. So yeah, if you have enjoyed the video, don't forget to drop a like. And as I said, if you are new around here, don't forget to drop a sub as well. And yeah, I'll catch you next week. Cheers.